Production support for Ohio Educational Broadcasting Award-winning News 6 has come from Whirlpool Corporation's Findlay Division, working to make your life a little easier. Additional support has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and from this public television station.
Hi! Welcome to News 6!
We're sixth graders from Portage Elementary School in Port Clinton, Ohio. Here's what you'll be seeing on News 6 today.
A taxidermist, an old-fashioned post office, and a United States Coast Guard station.
Hi, and welcome to News 6. I'm Courtney Smothers from Portage Elementary School in Port Clinton, Ohio. Here with our first story is TJ Guba.
For centuries, hunters have tried to find ways to preserve and display their catch. In the past, taxidermy was used mostly by museums and by the very rich. Today, taxidermy is more popular than ever, especially in Port Clinton.
Taxidermy is an art form that allows hunters to keep their memories of hunting trips alive for a long time. When did you first want to become a taxidermist?
I first wanted to be a taxidermist when I was about 12 years old. I realized I wasn't mature enough to be able to do everything I wanted to do. So then about 5 or 6 years ago, I got interested in it again, and now I followed through.
What is your favorite animal to work with?
My favorite animal happens to be a duck. I love wildlife of all types, but ducks are the most beautiful birds of all, and I just enjoy them.
What do you stuff the animals with?
That all depends upon what kind of animal it is. Like a fish, I will use a pre-wrapped body made of excelsior that they use to pack china with, and string, make a pattern of the fish, and use that along with a mortar-type filler between this and the skin to mount the fish.
What animals are harder to mount?
I would say probably one of the hardest animals to mount is a very small duck, because everything is so fine, so tiny, it actually takes longer to do a small duck than it does a large one.
At any given time, Mr. Wint will have different animals from small fish to large geese and deer in his studio. Are you a taxidermist full-time or just as a hobby?
Actually, I've been doing it for the last 5 years as a part-time type business, but here in the very near future, I will become a full-time taxidermist where this will be my only work.
Today's show is being produced by the 6th grade at Portage Elementary School in Port Clinton, Ohio. Port Clinton is located about 35 miles east of Toledo. The town was founded in 1828 and has a current population of about 7,000.
Thousands of people enjoy boating on Lake Erie. We visited the people who work around the clock to keep boating safe, the U.S. Coast Guard.
From rescue operations to law enforcement, many people depend on the U.S. Coast Guard. We decided to visit the United States Coast Guard station at Marblehead. We met Chief Warrant Officer Robert Scarpino, who is in charge of the station. How long has the Coast Guard station been here?
The station's been here since the late 1890s. I'm not as sure of the exact date, but we've been here a while.
What kind of calls do you get?
We get calls that range from people running out of gas, people not coming home when they're supposed to, boats on fire, people capsizing. We get all kinds of calls. We do have the radio room. Besides the boats, our other main job is to listen to the radio so we know somebody's in trouble. And this is where it all takes place. Somebody's here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, listening to radios. We have about 4 different radios actually. We've got one marine band radio that works off our antenna that we use locally. We've got what they call a high-level site. The antenna is similar, actually close to Cleveland. Then we have another radio up on the hill, which gives a little farther out. We also have a CB radio, in case somebody wants to call us on CB. A lot of boats do not have marine radios, they have CB radios. But this is probably the nerve center of everything we do is right here. Unless we get the call, we can't go out and get them.
What kind of emergency equipment do you have?
Most of our boats carry tow lines, fire pumps, dewatering pumps, first aid kits, and tools.
What do you do with the boats in the winter?
Once we pull them out of the water, we'll take them in the boathouse, sand them down, paint them, fix the engines, do whatever we have to do to get them ready for next year.
Anyone who has ever been boating should feel safer knowing that the brave men and women of the United States Coast Guard are on the job, living up to their motto, always ready.
Modern machines that handle mail have speeded things up at nearly every post office. In Gypsum, we have one of the few post offices left in the country that still does everything by hand. One of the most unique places in Port Clinton is the Gypsum Post Office. It is one of only 10 post offices left in the country that hand stamps all their mail. Mrs. Bessie Williams is the postmaster at the Gypsum Post Office. Mrs. Williams, why is this post office different?
Primarily because that we do not have any city delivery or rural routes. All of our patrons pick their mail up out of the post office boxes every day.
How long has this post office been open?
This particular office has been open 4 years, the 31st of this month. But we were across the street since 1957.
How long have you been postmaster?
I've been postmaster 13 years. I've been with the Postal Service 29.
What happens to a letter when it cuts to the post office?
It has to have 22 cents on it. We hand cancel all of our mail in this office, which also makes it different to the big city offices. When it's dropped in the mail drop, we pick them all out and then take over to the canceling table. And we have a hand stamp that we stamp each letter with. It then goes out of here and goes to Toledo, and Toledo processes them to wherever they're going.
Even though it isn't as modern as most others, the Gypsum Post Office takes pride in the special care given to each piece of mail. That's all for this week's show. Join us next week when News 6 travels to Maumee.
Production support for News 6 has come from Whirlpool Corporation's Findlay Division, working to make your life a little easier. Additional support has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and from this public television station.